Good day and welcome to DSU Inside Perspective, the show that talks to our faculty experts here at Delaware State University on some of the affairs that are going on in the world right now or on some of their accomplishments and work here at Delaware State University. Today we're looking at the shutdown of government. We're in the fourth day of this. Today is October 4th, and by the time this appears on our YouTube site, there may be a development, but we're going to talk more evergreen. Obviously, President Obama is very concerned about the precedent that could be set if he allows Congress to dictate the terms in terms of Obamacare and using the government shutdown as a negotiating chip, if you may. Today I have Dr. Sam Hoff, who is a George Washington professor here at Delaware State University in political science and history, as well as Dr. Akwasi Osei, who is the chair of our Department of Political Science, History, and Philosophy. Gentlemen, welcome back on the show again. Dr. Osei, I want to start with you. Is this a legitimate concern by President Obama, this precedent that could be set if they're allowed to use the shutdown of government to bring a halt to the funding of Obamacare?
Well, as long as we understand what Congress's role is, then one can make that determination. Their job is to appropriate money to fund government, and that's what this fight is about. They didn't want to do it, and they're using the act, as in the Affordable Care Act, which is popularly known as Obamacare, as a chip. Basically saying that if Obamacare is not either defunded or cut out, they would not fund the operations of government.
Now, when we say they didn't want it, we're talking Republicans.
We're talking about the Congress.
We're talking about the Congress as a whole.
Yes.
Which is in there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And that's what Obama means by a precedent, in the sense that for the first time, Congress's job seems to be, as it were, hung on this, what they would like to do, a political act of defunding something they do not like. And that's what Obama means by that.
Now, you're saying Congress, and you're saying the Republican-dominated Congress, but I think the American people are thinking of it in terms of Republican and Obama, which is kind of Republican and Democrat.
That's right.
Okay, so if a sign, I just recently saw some poll numbers from CBS's poll yesterday. 44% are blaming the Republicans, 35% are blaming Obama, and probably the rest of them are casting the blame everywhere else. But that's not entirely correct the way you're phrasing that there.
Well, again, the job of Congress is to fund, appropriate money to fund the functions of government. And they refuse to do that because they would like Obamacare to be defunded. But Obamacare has nothing to do with that function they have. And that's why President Obama is saying that they seem to be using that. And it may be a precedent that if that happens, that from now on, whatever Congress that's in power, if they do not agree with a particular policy or a law by the presidency, then they could use that as a way to shut down government again.
Dr. Hoff, I value your historical knowledge and everything. You've followed presidents as long as you've been in this academic area. When in history has something like this come up for a U.S. president where we're in a stalemate over, trying to get the other side, trying to get what they want and using maybe some very difficult means to get that?
Well, the shutdown has been caused by the fact that we don't have a budget at the beginning of the fiscal year, and that has occurred a number of times. But if we go to October 17th, then this whole issue of the shutdown will be tied into the debt limit. Now, we've raised the debt limit 83 times since the early 60s, including 16 times during the Reagan administration and a number of times during the Clinton administration. So it's not like that is a unique thing. But right now, with the nature of how this shutdown occurred, it's appearing that it is unique, and it's not. But the idea of threatening to keep the government shut down unless a law is either repealed or scaled back in the manner that those folks in Congress are doing it right now, that is unique, and that will set a precedent. And so President Obama certainly is looking not only to himself and the rest of his second term, he's looking to future presidents in taking this action of saying he doesn't want to negotiate.
I'm going to look at my producer. Do I have some more? Give me a couple more minutes here, because this is interesting stuff. Dr. Hoff, what other administrations have dealt with this kind of thing?
Well, dealing with the budget issue, it was certainly the Clinton administration back in 1995 when Newt Gingrich was the Speaker, and when the House Republicans had just taken over Congress in the '94 elections with the so-called contract with America. In that shutdown instance, it looked like the Republicans controlling Congress would have the upper hand because the president had lost a lot of seats in Congress in '94 elections. He was on the defensive. But that's not how the American people interpreted it. They supported the president, they supported the administration, and as we look back in legacy, the story is that the Republicans at that time caved and decided to go ahead and vote the things necessary to open the government back up. Hopefully that's what will happen this time. But just yesterday, the Democratic majority leader of the Senate said that he is willing to negotiate taxes with the Republicans separate from the shutdown issue. That may be the carrot that gets us back into negotiations on that and other issues, but not with a gun to your head, which is what we have now.
Well, like I said, today is October 4th. By the time this appears on the YouTube site next week, we hope this issue will be somewhat diffused. We'll see, but we've talked about a more evergreen issue, some of the precedent-setting issues, and some of the historical aspects of it, and we hope that this has been informative to you. This is all today for DSU Inside Perspective. We thank Dr. Osei and Dr. Hoff for being with us, and join us next time. Good day.